Hi, and thanks for joining me again. It's Sunday, the 13th of June 2021, and we've literally just walked back in the house after a 5-mile walk. It is boiling out there. It's a good 26, 27 degrees, and I'm not a person for hot weather. I think I'm a spring, autumn, winter, summer person, if I had to put them in order. I love walking, but walking in this heat and not finding shade, it's just a bit much, but we did it. And to be perfectly honest, I do feel better for it. So I wanted to pick up on this video, which is going to be quite short because we're pushed for time today, but I wanted to pick up on this video, something I spoke about last week, when I said that on Monday evening last week I was going to see my gastric band consultant. Now, the hospital I had my gastric band done at in Sherwood Forest doesn't do them anymore. I don't think a lot of gastric band operations are done these days. I think it's much more gastric sleeves and gastric bypasses. I don't know very much about either of those. I do know people who've had them both, but I don't know very much about the mechanics of it, other than the reason I chose to have a gastric band rather than a bypass, and sleeves weren't available 11 years ago with my surgeon, but the reason I chose to go down that route was because it's adjustable. And I had said in my video last week, I knew that my band for some reason was filling up and it was tight, or tighter, because I was struggling to drink, and that's a telltale sign for me. If I can't knock back a big glass of water without feeling like it's sitting here or something, then there's something wrong. So I had an appointment at 6:25 last Monday night with my consultant, and at 2:30 the hospital rang and said, he's coming in early, he'll see you at 4 o'clock if you want. So we went, and we just got to the road that you turn down that the hospital is actually on, when a police car overtook us at speed, pulled in to the end of that road, and we were like, oh, because what were we doing wrong? We weren't doing anything wrong. He had just come to block the road because there'd been an accident on the main road that was at the other end of that road. And so I thought, you mean little person, you could have just let us through. I said to him, we've got a hospital appointment, and he's like, no, you'll have to go round. So we went off on a jolly detour round some of the Nottinghamshire villages near Mansfield, and it was very nice because saw places, mostly pubs, I should say, that I haven't seen in years. And I was like, oh, the Hut, we used to go there years, like 30 years ago, and I used to drink there. And it was really nice. So we went past Newstead Abbey and we had a bit of a scenic run. But anyway, to cut a long story short, we got there. I saw my consultant, who's called Ian, and he's really nice. And I would say he's probably a couple of years younger than me. Never asked him, but he's very fit, he's a runner, and he's really into health and fitness and that. So I saw him, and he said what was the problem, told him, and I said, I want you to empty the band or take enough out that I can freely eat and drink, because I've got no problem eating ice cream and cake and chocolates and biscuits and stuff like that, but I was really struggling with fluids, and that's no good. I don't want to be dehydrated. I'm a little shriveled up old lady as it is. I don't want to shrivel up even more, do I? So he took a mill out, and then I went back into the waiting room and knocked back 3 little paper cups of ice cold water, and yeah, it was going through, but it wasn't flowing through. Now, if you have it loose like I've got it now, it's tantamount to not having a band, really. So, and you can feel it. If you drink ice cold water, you can feel the speed at which it runs through you. So you know when it feels right and when it feels normal. That's what I was aiming for. So I went back into his treatment room, and he took another mill out, which more or less emptied it, and came out and knocked back another 3 cups of ice cold water, and they just flowed straight through. That's what I want at this moment in time. I want the freedom to be able to eat healthily, and for me that's eating lots of fruit and vegetables as a main part of my diet, because unless I can munch on lots of fruit and veg and fill myself up with healthy food, I'm struggling. And then when I'm struggling, I eat the wrong things, because the wrong things go through easily, the healthy things don't. That's the one thing about having a gastric band that I don't think I really grasped from the beginning, that you know, and I know people who've got gastric bypasses and sleeves say the same thing. It does not stop you being a slave to chocolate. And I am. Chocolate is my big downfall. Although, to be perfectly honest, I can't eat it like I used to. I just don't want it like I used to want it. But it's still the sort of thing that is very easy to pick up when you're feeling down on yourself. And if it goes through your band, doesn't register at all, you know, it's like you've had nothing. And at least eating healthy food, so eating fruit and vegetables, does register that you're actually filling up your tummy with healthy stuff. So, a couple of questions I was asked in the comments. I think they were both in the comments. One might have been by text, but they should be in the comments. One lady asked me, why don't you just have it removed, full stop? You know, just do away with it entirely. Now, yes, I could, but it cost me £6,921 to put it in, and it would probably cost a similar amount, or maybe a bit more, maybe nearer 8,000 these days, to have it taken out, because it is major surgery. It's major keyhole surgery, and they don't do it in 10 minutes. It took hours to put mine in, and I'm assuming it would take a good while to take it out. So if I went back to a private hospital and said take it out, I'm sure they could. If there was an emergency and they needed to, I'm sure they could. But it's not worth paying thousands to have it taken out when you can just have it relaxed and it's like it's not there anyway. So that was one question. And then another, I think it was Shell asked the question, you know, I hope you get, it was the day after I'd been to the hospital, I hope you soon get your adjustment. Well, actually a gastric band is very easy to adjust, because when you have them done privately or by the surgeon I used, you have a port which is about the size of a 2p coin, and it's straight underneath your breastbone. Now, the ladies I know have had them done on the NHS, the port is underneath the bottom of their left ribs and quite awkward to get to, but mine is really simple and straightforward. And all they do is they have a certain kind of needle that they put into the centre of the port, they then press it, and they can take fluid out, or they can put fluid in. So it's a really easy system. As I say, my surgeon doesn't do gastric bands anymore. I think the reason he gave, I'm sure the reason he told me a few years ago was because the insurance is way, way too high to actually do them privately. I don't know whether they still do them on the NHS if anybody's interested in having a gastric band. I must say, the people I know who've had them done on the NHS have had very little success because the follow-up isn't good enough. When I had mine done, the follow-up was brilliant. They fill your band straight away. You're under a dietitian. You are encouraged. I still put weight on in the first year, but you're encouraged with it. On the NHS, I think I had like a 5mm fill 3 weeks after I had the band. My friend who had it done on the NHS at the same time then got like a 0.5mm fill every 6 months. So it took her about 4 years to get to where I got to in 3 weeks. And unfortunately, she just never got on top of it, and she's still carrying the same weight today that she did when she had her surgery. And I find that to put yourself through the trauma of a major operation to get no results because the NHS follow-up just wasn't there at the time. It might be different now, but I think they possibly use the sleeve and the bypass much more. So, yeah, so I want to fill you up to date on that. So I saw my surgeon, I had the treatment, I was in and out in like 15-20 minutes, and we were on our way home. And I do feel so much better for it. I'm drinking like a fish. Now, when he was doing it, when I was lying on the treatment couch and he was doing it, he said to me, before I put this needle in, you do know you're going to gain weight, don't you, if I do this? And I'm like, I just know how I need to be around food and drink, and I've got Slimming World, because he knows I still go to Slimming World. I said, I'm not worried. So just do what I need to do, because I need to be able to eat and drink more comfortably. So he did it. And when I went back in the second time to have the second bit, and he said to me, you know, bear in mind what I said to you, Jane, because you look fabulous. You look really good. I mean, he's seen more of me than you've ever seen. But, you know, you're looking really good. Just bear in mind what I said to you about you will gain weight. And I'm like, Ian, I'm not worried. I've got Slimming World. So I had it done on Monday, and I came home and I stuck to Slimming World. So I have 2 A choices, 1 B choice, 15 sins. So I got weighed on Friday, and hey presto, I gained 3.5 pounds. But do you know what? I'm not going to worry about it, because I'm eating the right food, I'm drinking loads of liquid, much more than I've been drinking for the last year, because now I could literally knock back a pint of water if I wanted to. And you know I've never been a big water drinker, but with my soda stream, I'm drinking plenty of water. So yeah, that's the story. So this week I went from 10 stone 8 to 10 stone 11.5. I don't feel like I've gained 3.5 pounds. I'm not worrying about it. The only thing I can do is eat the best I can today, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I've got up this morning, I've had 150 grams of cherries, free food. I've had 2 plums, speed food, and an extra large boiled egg, protein. That's food optimising. That's the best I can do for breakfast. And for my lunch, which is currently in the oven, I'm having a vegan lasagna, which is 6.5 sins. And I'll possibly have a piece of fruit after it if I've got time, but I've got to be somewhere in a short while, so. But that's life, isn't it? You can only do the best you can do on any given day. So to anybody who's having a good day today, enjoy it. To anybody who's having a bad day today, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Just do the best you can. And if the best you can is not Slimming World, and you'd like to be doing Slimming World, try again tomorrow. So, yeah. So I just put a 12-week countdown, which takes me from next Friday up to the 3rd of September. £56.50, because of course I get the pensioners discount. My God, you save £3. What would you do with £3 today? Not a lot. But I'm in a good place. So thanks for watching, thanks for being there, stay safe, and we'll be back. Cheers.